All right. Well, we were talking about the electoral prospects of New Zealand First, and I will admit, Winston Peters, there's some validity to his claim that the current polls, well, they knock out about 14% of people or to 18% who won't respond. Some people lie to the pollsters, and I get the feeling that they're not super accurate. When we get down to the actual percentages, we're not talking reality at the moment. But I'll tell you one thing, even an old established party like New Zealand First that has been in government, it finds that 5% threshold hard to get to. It didn't last time. It's had a couple of times where it hasn't. And, of course, if you can't do that, you've got to find a seat. And there seems to be no sign of a deal with National and Northland. So, still a question mark over whether or not New Zealand First gets back into Parliament. It will probably survive as a party as long as Winston Peters is alive. But there are a few other parties. We have had this coalition or coagulation of some of the right-wing fundamental parties and anti-vax parties with Brian Tamaki and Sue Gray getting together. We have still got Matt King in Northland, Democracy New Zealand, and we have, what were they called, the New Conservative Party as well. But we've got a new one, apparently, or an announcement for a new one, and I'm trying to figure out why. And what sort of mug would get back into this game having given it a crack and failed? The guy setting up the new party is Leighton Baker, and he joins us by video link, I presume, from Rangiora right now. Is that right, Leighton?
Yeah, absolutely, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. And really good question, what sort of mug would get involved?
Yeah, well, tell us. What is the party called and why?
Yeah, it's called the Leighton Baker Party, which I know sounds a bit weird, but the reason for that is that poll at the beginning of the year said 3.9% of people wanted me to be represented in Parliament. So we thought, if that's what they want, we will have a crack and give it to them.
How many people did you poll? How many people did you poll, Leighton?
I didn't poll, mate. That was a News Hub poll. So I didn't even know it was happening.
And what was the question?
Who do you want to see as Prime Minister?
So 3.9% of the people in a News Hub poll, which polls 1,000 people, right?
Yep.
So 39 people have said they want you to be Prime Minister in a poll. And that's good enough for you?
Well, it's good enough for me to have a go, Sean. And look, at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it can't happen unless you have a go.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of disquiet out there. And I guess the question we asked ourselves, and I'll probably ask you the same one then.
Well, who's we? First of all, just hang on, Leighton. Who's we?
Who's we as far as the party goes? Well,
yeah.
I guess the people that have contacted me and said, Leighton, will you stand? So,
okay, do you have a committee or an executive or a staff?
Yes, we do. We don't have staff, no, Sean. So
no staff. So what's your committee?
Our committee's just about 8 people who have got together and taking on different roles. So we've got people looking after the internet and people looking after the website, and then people doing...
Okay, are they involved in any other projects you're involved in, like Operation People?
No.
No? Okay,
I shouldn't say that. Chantel has helped me a wee bit with the website.
That's your daughter, Chantel Baker, for those who don't know, so
that's
she's helping you as well.
Yeah.
Look, just to be brutally honest with you, and I don't mean to be unchristian, you haven't got a snowball's chance in hell, Leighton. This is absolute fool's errand, mate.
Look, I hear what you're saying, Sean, but you've got to have a go. And what we're trying to do is something a bit different, because I'm frustrated, and the reason I got into politics was the fact that...
But hang on, Leighton, you're not in... I just want to disabuse you of the knowledge. You're not in politics, Leighton. You're not elected to Parliament. You are not in politics. You are a wannabe until you're elected.
Okay, well, you can say that, but there's people that want alternative voices out there, and someone's...
Well, there are 39 people in a News Hub poll. And there are plenty of other alternative parties. You've got parties all over the place. You used to lead one. Why not go back there?
Yep. Because we've got to do things different. Sean, what's happening?
Who says?
It's not working.
Well, they're different. They haven't been in Parliament. They're wannabes as well. Why don't you go to an established outlier brand? Why, instead of reinventing a wheel that's broken anyway?
things are not working, Sean. We haven't got a government that represents the people anymore. So we've got to do things differently. So the question I ask myself is, do I trust the government to make good decisions for me? And the answer I come up with is, no, I don't. I don't.
And there are plenty of other parties. There are plenty of parties that represent exactly that view, Leighton. New Conservatives.
How do we get a government?
Democracy New Zealand. New Zealand first.
How do you get a government? The problem, Sean, is at the moment, the political system is the candidates, the people that get elected represent their party.
I'm not asking you a question. I'm not asking you a question about what you think is wrong with the current political system. I'm just saying there are alternative pre-existing parties that would share exactly your views on this. So why start something completely new? Because under the system that we have at the moment, all you're doing is fracturing and lessening the possibility of a new party or political grouping coming together that might actually be more than wannabe politicians and have an influence.
The problem, Sean, is if you do manage to get into Parliament with a whole group of people and there's no cohesion, they don't have a clear plan of what they're going to do when they get there, then it's wasting your time to get there. You've got to have a clear plan of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, but you're not going to get anywhere near there, Leighton. I mean, you are literally in cloud cuckoo lounge.
You're welcome to your opinion, Sean, and good on you for doing it. But what I'm saying is I feel obligated to have a crack, and I will.
Well, why don't you have a crack? Why don't you have a more meaningful crack with a party that has, you know, a slightly warmer snowball's chance in hell? Why do you have to recreate 4.5 months out from polling day, the idea that you are going to create a political movement that will get 5% of the vote is absolutely bloody ludicrous. And I'm sorry, I can't describe it in any other way, Leighton. Or is this some sort of grift?
That's your opinion, Sean. You allow it. But
no, it's not my opinion. It's observable fact because I live in the real world, Leighton. I've been doing this for a while.
Mate, I live in the real world every day too, Sean, and my whole working life is in the real world. I'm a builder by trade. I'm on the front line. I am working, and I'm surrounded by people that are incredibly frustrated with the system we've got. Yeah. And so they're asking me, Leighton, will you please stand up? And I am. And whether there's enough of them to make a difference or not, we will find out on polling day.
Not.
But I will not find out if I don't do anything.
There isn't going to be. I'm not going to enter into your. I'm not going to share your delusion with you. Do you have 500 members yet so you can register as a party?
Well, we only launched on Sunday, Sean, and we're over halfway already, so we're going well.
You got 250 members. What are you going to do for funding? Who's going to pay the bills to campaign?
It all has to be self-funded, Sean, so it's got to come from ourselves or donations. There is no big funders.
No big funders. Okay. What are you going to do after this? Because this is going to be a failure.
Well, Sean, I've never done it full time. I still work. I still build. I still bring in the income for my family. So nothing changes. Yeah.
You want to put some money on it.
It's just a voice.
You want to put some money on it. You want to put some money on this.
I'm already putting my money on it, Sean, and so I'm not a gambler. I won't be gambling. I'm putting my money into it, Sean. So, yep.
Okay. Well, I hate to think I'm going to be telling I told you so. Look, can I just ask you two, what is it about the other alternate parties that you don't like?
It's what I'm trying to say, Sean, is the fact that the system's broken. We don't have a system that works because at the moment the candidates are controlled by the party.
No, you didn't hear my question, Leighton. There are plenty.
Yeah,
no, because you're not answering the question I'm asking, Leighton. And the question is,
you're just looking for a certain answer, Sean.
No, I'm not. I'm looking to see if you understand how silly what you're doing is.
Give me a chance to give you my answer rather than you telling me your answer.
Why wouldn't you join another alternate party or small party, one of the other parties that shares pretty much all the views you've expressed this morning?
Well, I don't know if you've given me much chance to express views, Sean, but my reasoning is at the moment the system is broken because the party system at the moment, the politicians are controlled by the party. They are told how to vote by the party whip. It doesn't work. We have to get back to representative democracy, and that means that candidates have to be fully committed to represent their community, not the party. It's an upside-down system. It's a system where actually the government's not there to control, they're there to support people.
So are you standing as an independent?
That's what we need.
Are you going to stand as an independent?
I would. my first goal would be love to have a group of independents right around New Zealand just representing their community with an umbrella that they could come under to try and grab the party
So
vote
are
as
you
well.
going to stand? Where are you going to stand?
You can't do it.
Where are you going to stand?
I'm standing the Waimakariri.
Then why do you need a party if you're going to stand as an independent?
Because there's other good people that want to do a similar thing. So there's the umbrella, and because it's a party vote around New Zealand of people, you have to give them the opportunity. There's a lot of people that are saying to me, we want to vote for you, but we don't live in your area. So I'm giving them that opportunity.
Okay. You don't drink, do you, Leighton?
No, I don't, Sean. Well, not alcohol.
No, amazing. Because I would have thought this idea might have come after a long Saturday night session. Well, look, the world loves a trier, so do I. Good luck to you. And maybe we'll talk after the election. And you know, there are other parties out there, Leighton, that would probably give you just as much chance as you have now. I thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. That is Leighton.
Thanks for having me on, Sean. I appreciate it.
Cheers. That is Leighton Baker, leader of the Leighton Baker Party. He's standing because our system's broken. He didn't really answer the question. A lot of other parties think the system's broken. Why not join them? Some less than Christian people are suggesting maybe it's his ego. Why bother? Really, why bother? If I have seen a recipe for complete and utter political failure, there it is.